Hi, welcome to my political show, Kavindu Political Times. Today is the episode 2 of season 5. Today on the show we're going to talk about the COVID relief bill. Can Joe Biden get the COVID relief bill to be passed through? Now, of course, before start the show, I want to hit the like button and subscribe to my show. And now let's start. Now, U.S. President Joe Biden has now so far managed to be aggressive while also offer bipartisanship. He has offered the choices between both for the COVID-19 relief bill. But something to consider is that the Republicans are against the COVID relief bill, saying that $1.9 trillion is too much once considering that they already did a certain amount while ago. But the Democrats, and including Janet Yellen, is saying let's go big right now before things take a worse turn to avoid economic recession. So it's two different sides of the coin. But I would believe I'm on the Biden camp on that. Because at the moment, if the government does not do enough to the economy, we go back to the early 2000, back to the 2000 world recession. And that's not something at the moment with the COVID pandemic, it's not something we can afford to have. And that's the reality. Now let's talk about some terms that Republicans are think. Now, the $1,400 is a bit of a talking point because look, the Democrats talking about $2,000 checks, so it came down to $1,400, which is a much better, fairer compromise. Because $1,400 of $2,000 might seem not so half, but the logical point is it's a far better deal what the Republicans would give, and the Republicans' proposal for Joe Biden seemed to be a petty one, and something like that does not make any sense at all. Now, of course, another thing Republicans do have some sort of a point is that who gets the money? The people who make $100,000 or more, $75,000 or more, doesn't necessarily need the relief bill because they are doing well. They are saved their money to get 2 times. But of course, under the Joe Biden bill, it's pretty clear that Joe Biden wants to distribute the money in a all fashion rather than cutting it in. To be fair, from Biden's point of view, Joe Biden shares the same equal concern, and it's very good to see that the Republican Party, among all the chaos, is talking about a valuable point. And I believe that President Joe Biden will address that matter as the bill goes through. And of course, the major other factors like for children, the big payments within itself. Now, of course, as I said about those $1,400 payments, and of course the other factors, the small businesses, and etc. And tons of money in the relief bill will go towards to reopen schools, something to deeply consider here, because schools have to be open, otherwise what's the point? That's the reality, to open schools safely. Now, Joe Biden, to do all this, the bill has to pass. So now let's talk about how this bill is going to pass. Now, there are 2 ways Joe Biden can pass this. The first way is bipartisanship. If we can get Republican senators to agree to vote for the bill, it makes great sense. But it's unlikely Republicans will vote for the bill considering the proposal they gave Joe Biden, and also considering the fact that $1.9 trillion the Republican Party seems too much for them, but in reality it isn't, because the damage the pandemic has caused is a lot more than $1.9 trillion. The unemployment numbers have the worst numbers yet. People are losing jobs. People are almost on welfare in these situations. People are on more and more food banks than ever been. To think about this logically, thinking, because end of the reality is that this relief bill is not too much or too little. In fact, it might be too little. The reality is it should be a $3 trillion or $2.5 trillion relief bill to be really, really fair, but 1.9 is a fair compromise, I would argue. But of course, now back to the passing logic. Now, Joe Biden invited major Republicans into the White House, and they gave a proposal. As I said, it was nowhere near the amount that was in the Biden's relief bill. Republicans' bill was virtually bullshit, except for a strong point of who gets the money. That's something that the Biden should discuss. Then the second way of passing this through is through their slim majority. Yes, they have a system where they have a method and a system in the US, in the Senate, in those major areas of the United States, to pass the bill with your majority. The reconciliation process, which allows you to pass the bill without the support of the Republican Party in this situation, which would mean that in order to do that, you need every Democrat to vote for the bill, so that you don't need any Republican to vote on it on the yay side. So that is the thing. That means the party sticking together. In these modern times, no one sticks together these days, and let's be clear, even the Democratic Party might have some cracks that we don't talk about. Of course, let's be clear. Of course, they might not be, but still, you never really know about it. So every Democrat must vote if they want to go the system as a reality fact about it. But as you know, now of course, as I said, the passing method for Joe Biden on these two bills seems to be logical. But I would personally believe if Joe Biden got the bipartisanship going, this could really help his attempt at bipartisan. But to be fair, Joe Biden has done a lot of bipartisanship since in the White House. He's been trying to work with Republicans, but I presume it won't make much sense, to be really fair on that. So this is the big question though. Can Joe Biden pass the COVID relief bill? Yes, he can. Through the reconciliation process, he surely can. Which every Democrat must vote, and that means no Republican needs to vote at all really to get the bill through. But that means every Democrat must stand together. Now, I believe they can, because the Democrats are the same people who talked about $2,000 checks. So I would presume it's not a big problem. So as I said, so before ending the video, I want to hit the like button and subscribe to my show. So thank you very much.